Welcome back. You're still with us on markets today. What a day it was. 100-point gain on the Nifty, 500 points gain on the Nifty Bank. And we've spoken about a lot of the factors that moved today. But let's talk about a lot of the other stocks that made headlines as well. And one of them was, Shilpa Medicare, which surged 16% today after the US FDA nod that the company got for its psoriatic arthritis drug. Ekta joins in with the details of that one. Ekta.
Thanks for that. Well, yes, Shilpa Medicare is in focus. It's up around 9%. That's because they've received the final US FDA nod for apremilast tablets, which is basically a drug which is used for the treatment of active psoriatic arthritis. Now, the product is executed from a contract manufacturing site. The market size of the drug is around $3.55 billion. Now, why is this positive? Is because remember that one of the company's main units for formulations, which is basically their Jadcherla unit, was issued an import alert by the US FDA in 2021. The company had indicated they have finished remediation. They are awaiting a US FDA inspection, but they had indicated that there would be some amount of site transfers which would take place. Overall, this would also add to their complex product pipeline, which they are focusing on, which basically includes oncology as well as transdermals. Remember, they have a very strong focus in terms of oncology, and they are making headways in terms of other markets when they are launching complex products, if it isn't the US market. So this should be assumed to be a positive, that they are managing to launch a drug in the US market despite one of their sites being under import alert since 2021. Like you mentioned, the stock has been an underperformer. It's down 49% from its 52-week high and is just about 15% away from its 52-week low.
All right, Ekta, thanks a lot for that. An erstwhile underperformer, a sliver of good news, and there were a bunch of positions taken on that stock, up 15% today. But let's stick with stocks in the news itself, and big movers at that. Technology license pack coming in with Mitsubishi for electrolytes helped Neogen Chemicals clock 15% gains as well. And this, remember, over and above the gains that it got yesterday after the company announced that a possibility is of such a tie-up is likely, and that there would be a press conference to speak about the same. Sonal Bhutra now joins in with more on the deal and what that means for the company.
Thank you so much for that. Well, Neogen Chemicals is in focus because they have signed a licensing agreement. It is with MU Ionic Solutions, which is a Japanese company. And this is basically for the technology license for manufacturing electrolytes, which is ultimately used for batteries in EVs as well. Now, Neogen will get this license for proprietary and confidential manufacturing technology. They have planned a manufacturing capacity of 30,000 metric tons per annum here. And these electrolytes will be targeted by Neogen to meet the growing demand of lithium-ion cells manufacturing in India, which are ultimately used in electric vehicles. Also, this will be the first company which will get this technology from a foreign player here, and they also plan to start commercial production by 2025 itself. I spoke to the management earlier, and they sounded very confident on this particular foray that they have made. They say that this license is perpetual till the time they are making this production of 30,000 tons per annum, and if they want to increase this capacity, then they will have to increase that fee as well. It is a one-time fee which will have to be paid if they achieve certain milestones in production as well. Apart from that, they said that if there is a change in technology as well, they might have to pay a higher fee here, but there is no royalty, so to say, because it's a manufacturing technology agreement for the company. They say they will be doing a capex of 450 crore rupees, which they had earlier aligned. It was both for electrolytes and electrolyte salts as well. So they still have to figure out how they will spend it on electrolytes. So that is a number that we still have to get from the company. They say they target to complete this project by calendar year 2025 or financial year 2026. They had a guidance of 1,100 to 1,200 crores of revenues by FY26. With this new project coming up, they say they will be able to exceed that guidance, but final number is something they're still not very sure of. But yes, it's a step in the right direction and positive for the company as well.
The license is basically perpetual. That is once up to 30,000 metric tons per annum production. So till the time the plant is making 30,000 metric tons per annum, we don't have to pay any additional license fee. So it's a one-time license fee, which we'll have to pay in certain installments as subject to some subject to achieving some landmarks between the period when the plant is getting constructed over a period of next 2 years. But after once it's paid, then this will be for perpetuity And if we want any additional capacity increase, then we'll have to pay. Or if there is any technology upgrade from their side, we'll have to pay for that. The royalty is not to be paid because this is mostly a manufacturing agreement.
All right, so those are a bunch of stocks that did extremely well today. In fact, 2 out of 3 stocks ended on the gaining side in today's trading session. Let's talk about the ones that did not do well, and one of them was ABB, among the top F&O losers today, and this after Kotak Institutional Equities actually downgraded the stock for multiple reasons. Vivek joins in with those reasons and the rationale, and perhaps the reason why the stock underperformed today. Vivek.
Well, absolutely right. ABB India, one of the top laggards in today's trading session. Now, what's actually happened is Kotak Institutional Equities has gone ahead and looked at the annual report of the company. And number one, they take into account the sharp run-up the stock has seen. Also having a look at the high valuations at which post the recent run-up, the stock is trading at. So this is number one, prompted them to go ahead and downgrade the stock to a reduce from the buy stance that it had earlier. Also, what they're saying is that at this point of time, at the valuations at which it is trading, they are finding it quite hard to justify the sustainability that the company saw in 2022. Number one, of the sharp improvement in the margins and also the working capital improvement that the company saw in FY 2022. Also, what they're saying is that the company enjoyed a 37% post-tax ROIC, that is a return on invested capital, in 2022. And they believe for the company to replicate this going forward is going to be very tough, and hence the downgrade. And today we are seeing clear selling pressure in ABB.
Clear selling pressure indeed, Vivek, down about 3.5%, but no pressure as far as the monsoons are concerned. And that's our 5th big headline for the day. All eyes rather on this year's monsoons. The Met Department has predicted a normal monsoon this year, and this is in divergence with what SkyMet did yesterday. SkyMet predicted a below normal monsoon. According to Met officials, rains during the June to September period is expected to be about 96% of the long-term average, which puts it in the normal bracket, as against SkyMet, which says 94%, which puts it slightly below average. Further, Met officials also said that El Nino conditions are likely to develop in the second half, and that's pretty much in line with what everyone has predicted, including the likes of SkyMet. So let's hear out a conversation with the Met officials that our colleagues had.
Most of the what is called central India, it will be a good monsoon, whereas in the west coast, in South India will be better monsoon, and maybe in the west coast some portion it will be less.
So we saw February temperatures rising, and you also expect in the coming months the temperatures to be higher than normal. What is the kind of impact that you are assessing?
See, basically the temperature is not the only criteria to be comfortable and other thing. The temperature will be every year, it will be increasing. There is no problem. But we have to see about how the humidity is going to change. So that is what humidity plus temperature comfort factor will be there. Yeah, monsoon is normal, so it is a good news. So we need to much worry about it.
Worry about that, and that certainly brings a heave sigh of relief to everyone who's watching the markets, but more importantly, the agricultural community and the nation's economy itself. The Indian Met Department predicted a normal monsoon. However, private weather forecaster SkyMet predicted the upcoming monsoon will be below normal. What does this mean? And, how does the entire thing stack up? We have Manisha Gupta joining in with more on the differing forecasts.
Well, thank you for that. Well, yes, contrasting forecasts from the government and SkyMet, but they do agree on few things as well. Firstly, Met Department is predicting rainfall to be 96% of the LPA. SkyMet has a forecast of 94%. So anything between 96 to 104% is considered normal rainfall. So even the government's forecast is at the lower end of what is considered normal rainfall.
We come out with the statistics, and result is about 96% of 87 centimeter will be there. Roughly about 83.5 centimeter rainfall will occur during June to September.
We expect that monsoon will be 94% of long period average, that is 8.6 mm. And El Nino will be evolving, and it will be much stronger in second half of monsoon.
So if the government's prediction comes true, this will be the 5th consecutive year of normal monsoon. It was in 2018 when India saw deficient rainfall at just about 91% of the LPA. However, there are several key factors that can have an impact. Both government and SkyMet agree that El Nino-like conditions are likely. Government believes that El Nino is likely in the second half of the year and it will not have an adverse impact on the rainfall. Actually, from 1951 to 2022, the El Nino phenomenon was observed in 15 years. And out of these 15 years, we have had normal rainfall in 6 years. So an El Nino does not necessarily mean a deficient rainfall. Another point to note is the spatial distribution of rainfall. For example, last year we saw monsoon at 106%. It was above normal. The month of July in last year saw the highest rainfall in nearly 17 years. But despite this, rainfall in India's eastern and northeastern regions was 12% below normal. In UP and Bihar, it was 30% below normal. And let me conclude by explaining why rainfall is so significant to India. The kharif crops like rice, cotton, maize, soybean, corn and many more are heavily reliant on monsoon. In fact, kharif crops account for nearly half of India's agri-basket. So normal monsoon is absolutely essential for the agri sector and economy at large.
If you see the overall figures which are released by IMD at the end of the monsoon season, somebody can say that these 4 years have been very good, and at the all India level, the behavior of monsoon has been as predicted and in the normal range. However, as we saw last year and also in previous years, the monsoon predictability has been quite awkward, and in certain states there has been lot of deficiency. For example, in UP, Bihar, West Bengal, etc., it was 25 to 30% deficient last year.
All right, with that, we wrap up on this edition of Markets Today. Thank you so much for watching. See you tomorrow.